In the early morning of January 7th, 1943, Nikola Tesla's body was found alone in his room at the New Yorker hotel. 86 years old, multiple organ failure, the doctors said. But what nobody told was about the woman who knocked on his door 3 days before and the envelope she left behind. Tesla lived practically in seclusion. He fed pigeons at the window, talked to himself, drew projects he never showed to anyone. That man who once illuminated the entire world could now barely pay his hotel bill. People thought he had gone mad. Perhaps he had. Or perhaps he knew something he could no longer carry alone. The woman who appeared that January night didn't identify herself at the front desk. There were no cameras back then, only the confused account of a night receptionist who said he saw a lady in a dark coat, hat with veil, climbing the stairs. She didn't use the elevator. She didn't want to be seen. When she knocked on the door of room 3327, Tesla opened, and, from what is known, they talked for almost 2 hours. Nobody heard screams, nobody heard crying, just low voices, muffled, like someone sharing a secret that couldn't leak through the walls. When she left, she placed a brown envelope on the small table beside the bed. Tesla didn't open it that night, nor the next. He just stared at it, motionless, as if he knew that opening it meant accepting something irreversible. 3 days later, he was dead. The FBI arrived at the room before the family. They collected documents, projects, notebooks, entire suitcases of notes. Officially, they said nothing relevant was found, but the brown envelope never appeared in any inventory, not in the declassified files decades later, as if it had never existed. But it did exist, and some say that inside it was just a photograph and a date. Tesla wasn't an ordinary man. He saw the world in a way nobody else did. He understood frequencies, vibrations, invisible energy circulating between things. He said everything in the universe was made of patterns, that if you knew how to read those patterns, you could predict the future, or perhaps rewrite it. In the last years of his life, he spoke less and less about science. He spoke about guilt, about choices he made in the past that now haunted him, about an experiment that should never have happened, and about a promise he broke. In 1899, Tesla was in Colorado Springs, working on wireless energy transmission. He built a giant tower, generators capable of producing millions of volts, antennas pointing to the sky. He said he was hearing signals from somewhere else, maybe from another planet. The press ridiculed him. Scientists called him a lunatic. But Tesla insisted. He recorded everything in a black notebook he kept locked. He wrote in code. He drew diagrams nobody could decipher. And then, on a specific night in June of that year, something happened, something he never wanted to explain. He only wrote one sentence in the notebook. Received. Shouldn't have. Now I cannot return it. He destroyed the tower months later, returned to New York, never spoke publicly about the signals again. But those who lived with him noticed the change. Tesla became darker, more distant, as if he carried a weight he couldn't share. What if what he received wasn't a signal from space, but a message from the future? What if someone, decades ahead, found a way to send information to the past and chose Tesla because they knew he would be the only one capable of understanding? Imagine what you would do if you received a message like that. If you knew something terrible that's still going to happen, would you tell? Would you try to stop it? Or would you keep it to yourself, knowing that revealing it could destroy everything? Tesla kept it for more than 40 years. But the woman who knocked on Tesla's door that night knew. She knew what he had received, and she came to demand an answer. Some researchers believe she was an agent, Others say she was someone from the family of a person involved in that secret experiment. Some bet she was a spy, maybe Soviet, maybe American, trying to extract from him what remained of that information before he died. But there's a more disturbing theory, that the woman was the sender of the message herself, and that she came to take back what should never have been sent. In the FBI files about Tesla, there's a strange note on one of the pages, a crossed-out line, almost illegible, that says, "Subject claimed interference in 1899, unable to verify, dispose accordingly." Interference, not experiment, not theory, interference. As if someone inside the government already knew Tesla wasn't lying and that it needed to be erased. And it was. But the photograph, that one nobody managed to erase completely, because Tesla showed it to someone. An assistant years before swore he saw it. He described it as a blurred image in black and white, showing a woman from behind, standing in front of a construction he didn't recognize, and on the back, handwritten, 1943, "You will understand." When the woman knocked on Tesla's door, Tesla finally understood. She wasn't there to threaten, she was there to close the loop, to confirm that everything he tried to prevent would happen anyway, and that he always knew it. Maybe that was the real reason for Tesla's death, not organ failure, not old age, but the unbearable weight of knowing he saw the end before everyone else, and couldn't do anything about it. To this day, nobody knows for sure what happened in that tower in Colorado Springs. The records disappeared, the black notebook was never found, and the woman with the envelope was never identified. But there's something nobody can deny. Nikola Tesla, the man who illuminated the world, died in darkness, alone, with a secret he took to the grave. Or almost. Because if you pay attention to the declassified documents, to the lines between the FBI reports, to the small contradictions between the official versions, you'll notice that someone is still hiding something, and that something might change everything we know about Tesla, about science, about what's possible, and perhaps about who really controls time. This is a story that doesn't end. It's an investigation that continues, and if you made it this far, it's because you feel there's something beyond the official version, something that needs to be discovered. If you want to keep exploring mysteries like this one, subscribe to the channel, because every week we unearth stories that should have remained hidden, and the next one might be even more disturbing than this. See you next time if you have the courage to come back.